Hello, Canucks fans, and welcome back to another episode of the Canucks Conversation, delivered to you by the great folks at DoorDash.
Ding dong.
Use promo code CONVODD, capital C, capital D's, all one word, CONVODD. That will get you 25% off and free delivery on your first order with the DoorDash app. Does not get much better than that, folks. We've got a guest today. My name is Dave Quadrelli, joined as always by the man who built the place, Chris Faber. Our technical producer is Alex Allard. It is the Canucks Conversation, and our guest today is Abbotsford Canucks forward Will Lockwood, who will be joining the show at around 1:15. We're expected to be joined by Will Lockwood. All of our guests are brought to you by the great folks at Zephyr Epic. Be sure to use promo code Hockey Season, capital H, capital S, all one word, Hockey Season. That will get you $5 off your order at zephyrepic.com and in person in the store in Surrey. ZEPHYR Epic. Check them out on all platforms. Best part about Zephyr Epic, they ship free on any order over $50 in Canada.
Yep.
From putting you on the spot. I know you don't have a city, so I'll give a city today.
Okay.
I don't know why you need all this prep. Just name 2 cities. It's not hard.
Okay.
Well,
you can't do it.
You want me to do it?
Well, you just said you're doing it.
I don't mind. From Tofino to Toronto. Easy.
That was soft.
Whatever.
Well, what's the fact about Toronto?
They are the home of the official choking symbol, worldwide choking symbol.
Okay.
Toronto Maple Leafs. That was Facebook humor.
Yeah, the uncles will like that.
Will like that one.
That's for sure. But, see, it's harder than it looks.
It's not harder than it looks.
What did I have yesterday? Cap Shah. That was a good one.
Yeah, you know what? You do put a lot of work into it. I'm not going to dispute that.
Yeah, you run into Zephyr Epic in Surrey there, and you say, hockey season. You say that to them. It's like when I say Betway, you get $5 off. I get paid $5. They get $5 off their deal. If you just go in there and say hockey season and you listen to Canucks Conversation. The store's cool too. Lots of Pokemon cards. You know, I love my Pokemon cards. My number one right here, my Dragonite, my shiny Dragonite, my favorite card. I got some new cards coming in the mail too. Adding to the collection.
I'm getting a Lego order today.
I'm
very excited about it.
Yeah, you said you got your phone out and ready to go there.
Yeah, I'm ready for them to deliver it. Although they've been spotty with the delivery. I'm not gonna lie, it's been tough.
Somebody mentioned my draft shirt here. Yeah, Vancouver draft.
That is a nice shirt.
It is. It's one of my favorite ones. I got this. You and I were at the end of the season availability thing. They had that. Remember that? It was a locker room clear. They had this in the locker room. $5.
Oh yeah, that's right.
$5
for
this
about
shirt.
that.
It was probably this is the best $5 shirt I've ever bought. I wear it all the time.
Good time. Someone was asking in the chat, is your gym streak still going?
Yep.
I'm proud of you. That's awesome. And I know
I haven't gone today yet, but 8 days in a row. Sore. I'm very sore and tired.
Yeah, I'm a little sore too. I've been getting back after it. You've inspired me.
It's good. I go in there and I think I can lift like I used to back when I was in shape and like playing football and stuff. Oh my god! Because I pick up the same weights that I used to, and I can still lift them. Like I haven't gotten that out of shape. Well, I have, but I can still lift some of the weights. But yeah, it's the days after that are killing me. My arms and stuff are just so damn sore.
Gotta get on creatine.
No, I'm not getting on the creatine.
I'm getting back.
Well, if you can see, you can pull it out of the bin there. I've been drinking. These were the old people drink that Boost right there. The old people drink these in the morning instead of having breakfast. I had a Boost today because I'm feeling old and useless. All right.
Okay.
Let's get started. Vancouver Canucks big 6-4 win over the Sens yesterday. Spencer Martin to me was the story of the game. Quads. I know you love to chat about goaltenders. To me, he was the story of the game. It was just so damn good. There it is. Another win. Spencer Martin. Excellent in the first 40 minutes of the game. 35 scoring chances in the first 40 minutes. And Spencer Martin kept this Canucks team in the game. It was an incredible performance. We're seeing it right there. 41 shots. Man, I can't believe the Canucks won that game. I can't believe it. Well, it was such a, I think someone said in the chat earlier, what a roller coaster this team is. We're still not a month into this season. And just yesterday's game was just it was so funny. It was just a funny game. Right, it was a really funny game. Maybe not for Alex, who we're gonna bring it in here in just a minute because he's a Sens fan. We'll get his opinion on it. But the Sens were so damn good against, and maybe not even good. The Canucks might have just been really bad. But the first 40 minutes, it was 100% looked like it was in the Senators' court. It looked like it was utter domination, man. It felt like there was 7-minute stretches where the Canucks didn't have a scoring chance, and the Sens would have 5, 6, 7 scoring chances. And I mean, it was wild. I think that really big save by Spencer Martin, like diving across with the blocker, was a big thing that kind of helped push this team a little bit, maybe gain a little bit of momentum on there. But I didn't feel like there was any momentum going back to the Canucks. I mean, when Horvat scored that goal to tie it up at 1-1 in the first period, like I think I tweeted out that I was like, there's no way this game should be tied right now going into the intermission. And of course, Travis Hamonic ends up scoring the goal. Alex, we'll bring you in now. Your thoughts of last night's game, just from like a Sens perspective, as you're watching this team absolutely dominate for 40 minutes, and then it just all falls apart. The Canucks probably had their best third period of the year. What did you think? And it was funny. We were texting back and forth in the group chat with Alex here, Quads, you know this, and DeBrincat. He was brought up DeBrincat yesterday. Man, that guy cannot, catch a break. It feels like he's got decent release on his shot. He just can't beat a goaltender right now.
Yeah, again, he had his chances. We were talking about it last night. He was getting his chances, getting his looks. He was pulling the shots off, and they're just not going in for him right now.
It was,
but yeah,
it was tough.
like,
how do you think the game played out?
Some of these goals that went in, like Hamonic losing the puck behind the net there. That's on Horvat's second. Brandstrom in front on Horvat's first. He just kind of let him be and drifted off.
I mean, it was from a Canucks perspective, like the third period was excellent, but I have to think, like, man, I can't believe that game over the first 40 minutes.
No, and that's the thing is we've heard, and softball jump in the chat. So did anybody hear the Bruce There It Is chants at the Canadian Tires? It happened, folks. But I did want to talk about Spencer Martin because, as you said, the Canucks didn't bring their best game for the first 40 minutes. And I think that's not a hot take. That's safe to say. They were lucky to get into the third, tied it 2 apiece, if we're being honest here. And again, like, there's no goalie controversy in Vancouver, but you haven't had a lot of games where Thatcher Demko's held them in games and, been that savior. Like, I wouldn't say Martin stole them that game. I don't think you can say that when you let in 4 goals.
I don't know. I think he did.
Well, Martin didn't think so. Martin was upset with himself after the game.
35 scoring chances in the first 40 minutes.
Yep.
You should be scored on more than twice. You should absolutely be scored on more than twice. And not just like, man, it wasn't like the Canucks were making bad giveaways. They just couldn't get the damn puck. Like the Senators just had the puck on their stick for what felt like the first 40 minutes.
Also, Nikita Zaitsev getting sent down the day after. I watched him and in that game, and I was just shocked at how bad he was. Like, I knew he wasn't great, but he was bad. Like, very, very bad.
No, I agree.
Think he gets claimed?
I don't know. I'd have to look at the contract.
He is tall.
He is tall. He is a defenseman who is tall, but no, I don't think so. I guess just where to go from there.
11 minutes.
Yeah. 11 minutes, but I missed him a ton.
Hamonic had he scored a goal, but he gave a couple back,
Yeah.
Welcome to the Travis Hamonic experience, Alex. You're preaching to the choir here.
With Horvat, 2 more goals for him. A goal and an assist for Elias Pettersson, but Horvat continues to score at a ridiculous pace. I don't really know. It's so weird. Yesterday's game was the most confusing game of the season to me. Like, it seriously was. Watching this Canucks team play like they did in the third period was just kind of like something that we haven't seen from them all season long, right? Like, imagine if that was how they came out. And it felt, what it felt like? It felt like last season how this team was, right? In third periods, like, how many games did they actually come back from last year under Bruce Boudreau? That's what the team played like in the third period, and it felt like that something needed to happen, something needed to change on the bench from this Canucks team in the second intermission, and something clearly did. Or like something that was a vastly different looking team in the third period from what we saw in the first 40 minutes, and I wonder what that's on. Is that on the player? Is that on the coach? Is that from the president calling them out? Like, something clicked for them after the first 40 minutes of that game, and they came out in the third period and gave the best. Not only third period, but probably the best period they've played. Well, maybe not. The 3-0 against Nashville was a pretty good period. But, I mean, the best third period, I think, for sure, that they've played this season.
Yeah, but again, like, in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't really matter, right? Like, that's the thing. And again, I was thinking about this the other day because I've seen people on Twitter complaining, and not about us specifically, but they were just saying, like, it's hard to consume Canucks content right now because everybody's saying the exact same thing, and they're saying it every single day. So how do you balance that while also telling it how it is? And how it is they beat another bad team. and they didn't look exceptionally good in the win either, right? So again, I don't like this whole idea that they're flying by the seat of their pants, and if they could just beat some bad teams on this road trip, everything's going to be fine. No, the issues are still there. The issues are still prevalent, and again, like, it's fun to celebrate wins. I get it, but the process wasn't there. The process still wasn't there last night. And again, I don't want to sound like a broken record. I don't want to get into this where we say it every game, because you have to look for positives. And the biggest positive for me was the play of Spencer Martin yesterday. And that's a positive. So I don't know. Like, I know I just did exactly what I said I didn't like having to do, which is, say the same thing every day, but it's another bad team. It's just another bad team that the Canucks didn't really dominate.
No.
And still, they managed to win, but they didn't dominate at all for most of the game. And again, that's the problem with this team, right? Is all the issues are still there, and yeah, getting the results great, but they're still there, and you only got the result against a really bad team who's really on a skid right now, the Ottawa Senators.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. It's dials down to consistency again, right? And I think that what might be bites the Canucks in the rear at the end of the season if they get stuck in that mushy middle, like we always talk about, right? It's like, are they able to beat the bad teams in the league and just kind of sit just above them? Like, man, the worst thing that could happen this season is like the Canucks drafting 10th in this draft. Because, like, man, there's 7 guys in this next draft who have a chance to be like impact players within the next 2 years. Yeah. Immediately, like 3 or 4 for sure. But
where's the drop off in the draft? Like in the first round?
Well, there's a couple. There's like the elite tier, right? And
usually that's just one guy, but we've heard that there's 4 in this draft.
Yeah, it depends on immediate impact, because like talking immediate impact, Mitch Kov obviously is completely dropped off there. He's going to be in the KHL for another 4 years. But I don't think you're worried at all about Bedard making an impact, Fantilli making an impact. Leo Carlson, I think, is going to make an immediate impact. There's enough guys at the top that are going to come in and play in the NHL next year. For the Canucks, I think you want to be in that top 7, right? Like, that's where you want to be. So it'll be interesting to see how this team does against these bad teams here moving forward. And I mean, it's not like they're, they aren't actively tanking. That's for sure. But you don't want to be in that mushy middle, and it's going to take a lot for this team to get to the playoffs, obviously. But at least watching the game last night, I had some fun. Like, I had some fun in the third period for sure. First 2 periods, I don't know. Like, that was a tough game to watch. I mean, the team was getting absolutely run out of the building by the Ottawa Senators, but they came back in the third. They came back and showed a little bit of pushback in the third period, and it got to be a pretty exciting game, right? Like, yeah, I don't know. Like, yesterday was the most confusing game I've watched the Canucks in so long. Like, it was such a weird game to watch at that point. And I'm happy that Spencer Martin had a really good game as well. So that was really good to see. And now back-to-backs, right? You got Montreal tonight. That's going to be a big test. I found it interesting. Like, Montreal had to travel even more than the Canucks did, because they played in Detroit last night too. So going to be 2 teams that this might be, if you're looking for like a dog of a game, and not the good dog of a game, but like a bad dog of a game, tonight is like setting itself up. At least you have Thatcher Demko in there tonight to hopefully have like a good bounce back tonight. Tonight might be the night where you can finally see a Thatcher Demko game, where he's getting a team that, they're coming off a win. They won in a shootout, but you're getting up against Montreal team that I think they've lost 3 of their last 4. Obviously that win last night was big for them, but it's against Detroit. So tonight would be a really good night, especially after what Spencer Martin did yesterday. Tonight would be a really good night for that bounce back from Thatcher Demko.
Absolutely. And there's kind of a idea of, okay, let's get some pushback here, because there's no goalie controversy. And we'll talk about this after we chat with Will Lockwood. There's no goalie controversy, right? There's no goalie controversy in Vancouver, but Spencer Martin's making it close. Like, Spencer Martin's getting them results, and like you said, you think he stole the game last night. I think he was absolutely the biggest reason they won last night. Absolutely, I'm not disputing that. So I don't know. Like, it's interesting, the word steal and steal a game. Right?
13 games into the season, the 2 best goalie performances have come from Spencer Martin, right? Pittsburgh, and then yesterday. Yeah, you mentioned the 4 goals, but man, like, the first 40 minutes, I look at that as like 2 different games almost. And yeah, he wasn't great in the third period.
He called the Hamonic goal terrible, and it's hard to disagree
with
that.
Was, I mean, that wasn't a great shot, but it meant, like, some of the saves, it just felt like there was a confidence after he makes a couple of those saves early, it's like you could feel the fan base getting some confidence behind Spencer Martin. And I think that was really nice to see because it's been, listen, I don't think that Demko's had the worst start to the season, but it's definitely not his best. And I don't know if the confidence level is even there with him, but with Spencer, I mean, you could feel like it felt nice to be confident in a goaltender. I think that's what Canucks fans were getting yesterday from Spencer Martin.
Absolutely. Guy who played with Spencer Martin.
Well, I was just about to say this guy got to play in front of Spencer Martin last season a lot in Abbotsford. Probably had a lot of confidence because Spencer Martin was excellent last year in the AHL. Let's bring in Will Lockwood now joining us. Will, how you doing? You still in the arena there?
Yeah, I actually just finished up lunch, so I thought I'd pop out. Quiet area over here in the rink. I'm actually on the bench right now, so.
Oh, right on. Well, people, you can't bring up lunch and not tell us what you ate. People love that in podcasts. What'd you have for lunch today, Will?
What do we have? I had some salmon, some rice, and some cauliflower. Nothing too extreme. Might go back for some banana bread after this.
So with banana bread, are you a chocolate chip guy, walnut guy, or just straight banana bread? Where do you roll with that?
I don't know. They have it fresh here every day, and I think they do it with whatever they're doing. It's good. It's chocolate chip and walnut, I think, and it's phenomenal. I don't know if there'll be any left. Usually it gets taken up pretty quickly.
Well, we were just talking about him, Spencer Martin. How happy are you to see Spencer Martin, from where he was last year, get to play NHL games now?
Yeah, it's awesome. I'm super happy for the guy. He, you wouldn't really expect him to be where he's at from the start of last year, and he's a guy you always want to root for because he has came a long way since then, but has earned every bit of that success he's been having. And like you said, he's a guy he's got a lot of confidence, and it's good to see that the fans are starting to recognize that as well.
Oh, absolutely. They were talking about building a statue outside Rogers Arena yesterday. But Will, I got to ask, what's it been like the last couple of weeks here? You guys start the season on the road. Must be nice to kind of settle in a little bit here. But at the same time, I've heard from players a lot about this, that starting the season on the road on a road trip like that's kind of nice as well. So how's the last week and a half been here back in Abbotsford?
It's been good. You start on the road, and then when you get to come home, you're so excited to play in front of your fans, and I think we showed that. Obviously, I'd like to win those second games, but it's been a lot of fun being here at home.
And Will, you must be liking it in the games here. 4 games back at home, you got 5 goals. What is it about this Abbotsford Center for you, man?
I don't know. It's just you kind of thrive off the energy that the fans bring, and it's fun. It's always fun to win in the rink, and it's fun to score some goals along the way too.
Well, we talked about this last week when I was out at the game, just about how important it is for your game to be skating, right? I mean, that's one of your skills, obviously. One of your best strengths is your skating. How important is it for you to just be able to go 100 miles an hour, be giving it 100%? What does that kind of create for you, and kind of specifically the good parts of your game? How much does skating create to kind of open up the other strengths in your game?
It creates a lot, I think. When I'm moving my feet, it creates that separation. I was talking to you earlier about it, but that separation just gives you a little more time along the ice, whether it's 3 hard strides out of the corner, you create that separation from the D-man in order to make a play, to the middle or up to the point, or if it's in the neutral zone or getting off the wall. Those 3 strides have been a key focus of mine in creating that separation. And it, allows a player to have some time to make a play. And, I think that's been a key part of my game lately.
Well, I want to ask you about the kind of organizational shift, I guess. They cleaned house last year with the coaching staff, the management. Does that change things for you at all? Because, obviously, when you get sent down, you chat with the coaching staff about what they want to see from you. Have you been able to kind of have similar conversations with the new regime, that kind of thing? Has it changed anything for you? Or, how has it affected you, the change?
It's something that doesn't affect me very much at all. There's good dialogue between the 2 parties, which is great to get some good feedback like that. But for me, it's not something I really focus on too much. It's just kind of controlling what I can do here, and controlling what I can, because outside of that, start to go crazy.
Well, with looking at this season, I'm sure a goal of yours is to get back in the NHL, get some games like you've had over the past couple of years here. What are you working on right now to prove to the NHL team that you can be ready to play NHL games? What are you doing in the AHL right now to kind of prove that point?
Just a lot of things like wall play, continue to be good in the D zone. I think that's probably, you see me get on the score sheet and that's all well and good, but I feel like my D zone, my back pressure, my play around the net, clearing out bodies has probably been my strength so far this season. Continue to focus on that. Because obviously at the next level, it's a little more difficult to score and do things like that. So just to have that base there has probably been a big key of mine.
Will, talk us through the off season that you had. Anything exciting over the off season? Any trips anywhere? Or are you just back home in Michigan, just kind of hanging out?
No, yeah, I had a great off season. Now I got some friends who are out of school and are working in different areas. So I was going to visit some of those guys. I was in New York. I was in Chicago a little bit. We go up north in Michigan and go out on the lakes there and do a lot of fishing and things like that. So I was able to get around and see some of those guys and have some fun along the way. Obviously focus on training, but that's your off season, so you gotta do those things. You gotta enjoy it.
And Nick Blankenberg, I got to ask about him. Getting a run here with the Columbus Blue Jackets, had a good little finish last year. Had some pretty exciting things. What were you? I'm sure you spent some time with him in the off season. What was it like, kind of chatting with him now, making that jump? I think we talked about this last year. Like, how many teams weren't interested in this guy because he was, too small or wasn't going to be an NHL player. But man, the guy's already making somewhat of an impact with this Blue Jackets team. And I know he's battling for ice time right now, but seems like a lot of positivity from the fan base over there in Columbus about what Nick's doing right now.
Yeah, if you asked me, I'd have him in the lineup every day and have him playing every day. I think he's kind of earned that. And he's the type of kid who won't get discouraged. He'll earn that ice, and he'll eventually be at the point where he wants to be. And he's kind of proved that his entire life. He hasn't really been given much, and has made a lot out of the little he's been given. But yeah, he's one of my best friends, and we spent a lot of time together this summer. We were living together for a while this summer, and we plan to live together next summer. So. It just makes me really happy to see him doing so well. He's the type of guy that, you just, like Marty, you just root for. He's just a great guy, works so hard. He wants to see you have success. I want to see him have success. It's great to see him doing so well.
Well, Vinny Arsenault once rocked a purple stick after going in a goal scoring heater. Hirano's now got the custom printed Bauer stick. Anything you're doing with your gear that's led to this hot streak?
No, not at all. I mean, I've been using the same pattern and same tape job and same everything my entire life. And, it's not something I'm really superstitious about or change up too much. It's, just sticking with what it is. And it's been working lately, so I'm not really going to change too much.
There you go.
Well, that's what you say, but I mean, this banana bread you're talking about at the Abbotsford Center. I mean, is that the magic touch? Who knows?
It could be, honestly. I don't think I had too much of it last year. This year, I've been indulging, enjoying the food that they provide here, and it could be the banana bread. I mean, if it is, they got to start making some more of it. That's for sure.
Final one from us here, Will. We had Chase Waters on the show to start this season. He was our first guest from the Abbotsford Canucks, and we kind of joked about it, like it was kind of probably weird for him to not have a C on his chest last year because it feels like he's been a captain every year probably since he was 5. What's it been like adjusting to the having the first captain here in Abbotsford Canucks history, and like I guess it's like I don't want you to like brag about him too much, but like this guy's been a captain everywhere he goes. Like what is it about Chase that makes him get into that role on every team?
I mean, I think it just kind of stems from the person he is more than anything. Like he's come in and he's been a guy people respected since day one. He's brings everything to the rink every day. Treats everyone else with a ton of respect. And I think it just kind of stems from there. And then obviously it shows in his game. He's been, he's kind of been our team's backbone beginning this season. And, when we're doing film, there's always a couple clips that, maybe the fans or other people aren't seeing, but have led to so much success for our team. So he continues to lead on and off the ice, and I think he's probably done that his whole life. It seems like but yeah, he's been phenomenal. I think Abbotsford Canucks are really lucky to have him as a captain.
Absolutely. Well, Will, we'll hope that you keep that hawk streak going. I know you guys got the Chrome Dome Silver Knights in town tomorrow, so that's going to be a big game at the Abbotsford Center. No Vancouver game, so a lot of focus going to be on what you guys are doing out there tomorrow. So all the best, and thanks for joining us here, Will.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks for having me, guys.
You betcha. There he is. Will Lockwood, Abbotsford Canucks. Like you said, big game tomorrow, hosting the Henderson Silver Knights. They got those chrome helmets.
I don't know how I feel about those.
I think the chrome looks bad. I've seen it like work with gold, and it depends on the jersey color and everything, but a black jersey with the chrome helmet, it just, I don't know, it doesn't do it for me. You know what I did like was those what are they called? The gunmetal jerseys that the Lions were wearing?
Yeah, those are awesome. Yeah.
They were,
Do you know what I'm remembering?
Roar Lions roar, baby.
Do you know what I'm remembering?
What's that? Sven Berchi?
When those helmets first came out, remember this? And I criticized them heavily.
Yeah.
And you saw them live, and you said, dude, I saw them in the dark. They look great in the dark.
They looked good in the dark.
And then remember what I said? I was like, well, everything looks good in the dark. If you need it to look better,
careful.
you just shut the lights off. Okay. I can't. That was so funny. I remember that day very vividly. You weren't very happy.
Will Lockwood, it's got to be the banana bread. I see it in the chat here.
People I mean, I like banana bread.
What else has been the constant? Yeah, he's been at home, but
That's
five goals in his last 4 games. I mean, the kid is really starting to score out there. And it'll be interesting to see what happens with Will Lockwood moving forward, right? I mean, there's a lot of things that he does really well. It just seems like something just hasn't quite, clicked yet for him at the NHL level. And I think that there's enough skill in his game, whether it be the speed, the aggressiveness is obviously super exciting in Will Lockwood's game. I'm just wondering if that, maybe it takes that moment of just something clicking, and it's not just like in a moment during a game. It might just be like some point in his hockey career where something just needs to be tinkered with a little bit to actually make him into an NHL player, right? And I think he's at the point right now where there's clearly skills in his game that project him to be something at the NHL level, but he just hasn't been able to find the right, almost like chemistry in his own skill set to really put it together to be a guy who can play on your fourth line. Because man, he should be trying to, battle with the Jack Studnicka for this position, right?
Some guys are late bloomers, and I know Jack Studnicka scored last night against Ottawa, but some guys are late bloomers, and I've said it before where the pushback I've ever given you on Will Lockwood is when he's referred to as a prospect, or maybe he can develop into something. I'm always like, okay, he is what he is at this point, but some guys are late bloomers. You've seen kind of that shift of mentality work for a guy like Tyler Mott, where scored a ton in junior and in college in Michigan, both of those guys.
Yep.
And then he kind of transforms his game to become a bottom six guy. And that's why I asked him the question about, like, when he got sent down before, and I didn't explicitly say it, but when he got sent down before, Travis Green was out in the media openly saying, we need him to kill penalties. He needs to become a good penalty killer. He's not going to play for the Canucks.
Right.
So I was kind of curious if that shifted at all, what's kind of been the message. And he said there's good dialogue. So again, you take him at his word on that. And again, you kind of think like, okay, let's see, obviously you want to develop your goal scoring. You want to be able to put up some points in a bottom six role. But again, how much is he working on the, defensive side of the game as well?
Sure.
Right?
And that's part that I'm not so worried about with him. I really do think it is the bottom line, because I think it was 15 games in the NHL he's had, not a point, not an assist.
Yeah.
So to see him, finish last AHL season with 9 goals in 46 games. Listen, 5 goals already in his first 8 games of this season. Like I said, all 5 of those goals coming over the last 4. So that was coming off of being brought up and sent back down as well. So he's been really good since being sent back down, and been excellent at home, obviously, for the Abbotsford Canucks. They're in action tomorrow against the Henderson Silver Knights. I'll be out there as well.
Okay. Shifting conversation.
Full
I'm
question,
verified now.
Oh, yeah. I had that at the top of the show. I wanted to bring it up because I want to talk about this verified thing.
Yeah, I'm verified.
Well, it's already a mess. Okay.
It is.
It's already a mess online.
Did you see someone made a fake Aroldis Chapman account?
I saw the McDavid one.
Someone
what's
already
the Chapman
impersonated the Yankees. Wait, that's the real Yankees account. Oh, that's real. I just opened Twitter because I was gonna bring up the Aroldis Chapman.
Okay.
There was a fake Aroldis Chapman tweet that was like, "I'm back in the Bronx for 3 years," and it has the check mark. It looks completely real.
That's what's gonna get people,
Dude,
man.
the Yankees just tweeted on Monday, infielder Anthony Rizzo exercised his player opt-out, like just opts out of his contract, and I was like, oh, okay, it's fake. And then I clicked the profile, and it's the real Yankees account. It's the 3.8 million followers.
Yeah, and you got you're out here the verified one. I don't think I'm gonna do it.
No?
No, we are going to
I'm going to do it for a month and then stop.
We are going to do it for the podcast account. We have to for the extended videos.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
We'll do it from the Canucks Army account, maybe.
Actually, yeah, that works too.
Yeah.
We just need somewhere to post videos because you know what? I hate it when I'm putting together a clip. And
Yeah,
the clip is
yeah.
like 2 minutes and 28 seconds, and I'm like, damn, I got to shave off 8 seconds somewhere, and that really sucks that I have to do it at some point because it's like, yeah, that's gonna be young. So we'll have longer clips posted. Canucks Army, I guess, will be the one that gets a check. It doesn't really matter to me.
Hey,
I'm not gonna go out of my way to do it.
what's Bo Horvat's number right now? I don't want to throw you on the spot. I know it's not even in the outline.
53?
I just no,
Oh.
his jersey number. His number for a contract extension.
Oh,
How much does Bo Horvat get on the open market right now?
well, right now if the season ends.
Well, yeah, he's on a 76 goal pace or whatever.
But I think the question should be, like, listen, everything he's done so far this season, you have to see, like, I know he's on pace for 76 goals. He's not going to score 76, but like he is clearly on the path to 40 though right now, right? With everything that he's doing right now, he's clearly on the path to 40 goals, which is going to be very impressive for him. And I tell you what, a 40 goal center hitting the open market who wins faceoffs like he does and can play in all positions. Like, I don't think he's the best penalty killer, but he's a guy who's going to score on your power play a lot. You can use him there. And I mean, his number has to be over 8 right now with the way he's playing this season. It has to be over 8.
It does.
Right?
And the Canucks can't pay that.
No.
Like, they can't pay that. But you're going to lose your cap. Like, I don't know. I'm coming to grips with that. And I know it's going to be a long season, folks. We're going to have lots of time to talk about Bo Horvat. But last night, you just see him again. And it's just, like, it feels like there's this narrative with Bo Horvat where, oh, well, all of his goals come in the bumper spot. All of his goals are lucky or whatever it is that people say.
Mm-hmm.
At what point do you just say, no, Bo Horvat's a good goal scorer? Like, he's a goal-scoring center.
No, he is, yeah.
Like, if it was that easy, and that's the thing, I said this in the Stanchies when I was talking about Kuzmenko at the net front. If it was that easy, everybody would do it. Like, you know, it takes a certain skill set to be able to do what Horvat's doing, to be able to even play the net front.
Here's even taking this to another degree, because I was like, you know, if the Canucks do lose Horvat, imagine Pettersson in the bumper.
He's showing a reluctancy to shoot right now.
Yeah, but you go in the bumper, you can't be reluctant to shoot. Like, the puck gets on your stick, you got to let it go.
I think
otherwise 4 guys are closing
in
in
the bumper.
Sure, right now.
Oh, sorry, you're saying okay.
If they were to move on from him and you kind of run that triangle, right? Maybe Besser goes on the right side and he can make that cross ice pass.
To Pettersson as a distributor, man.
Yeah, that is true. But
like you don't want to take that away.
But I just find Pettersson's scoring ability on that side of the power play is gone. He's got no power play goals this year. Right? He's got 6 assists, which is great. That's obviously a strong performance on the power play, but it's, you know, like I said, he's got nothing on the power. That one-timer, it hasn't been there the last couple of years, which is strange because, like, there are times when the shot's, like, very impressive. But the one-timer on the power play doesn't seem to be there. And is that because penalty kills are shifting a little bit more to that side? Maybe a little bit. But I just thought it's another. I think he would be good at it. I think a lot of the things that Pettersson would be asked to do would be fine. But I'm just thinking, if Horvat does get moved out, which really I think it's 50-50 at this point, right? And Commander Vander's got I call it CV in there in the chat. But is JT Miller realistically moved? Like, that's the other part of this, right? And you know, who did I hear? Was it John Shannon? I think on Sakaris and Price was saying. He's like, absolutely, teams are lining up for him. It's like, I don't know if teams are lining up.
They were lining up.
Sure. And you know what? At the same time, if he is like a point per game player again, somebody probably would be like, you know, the contract, the fact that it got done, it almost would, like, at the time when some people were like some people were saying like, oh, nice, now his trade value's gone up. It's like, and everyone was like, no, there's no way they could trade. There's no way they could trade him. I just think that, you know, I think a team would give you something for JT Miller in his contract right now. Like, Are the Islanders potentially still in a team that's in there? Like
Stefan threw this out at Canucks Army, my favorite writer.
The Blues, we know the Blues are gonna lose O'Reilly. Do they want to have like a replacement there?
And that's the thing is what Stefan threw out is it's an interesting scenario because teams that typically can't pull in big free agents have a unique opportunity here to give up some assets and get one under contract. But again, is JT especially one of the guys that you're okay with doing that to? Not if you're the Canucks. If you're the Canucks, you are not in the business to be making friends right now. You need to figure this out. But the team acquiring him, is JT happy if he goes to Arizona, right, and has to play with the Coyotes?
Oh, no.
And that's what I'm saying. But the Coyotes
CV's got another good point. JT is technically signed under market value, right? Like at the time it was signed. And that's a very good point to add in there. At the time, yes.
He's still putting up points.
For sure.
Yep.
And it would be interesting to see what he's like because like a lot of those points are from the power play, the spot where he is. I don't like maybe one day I'll measure this with like I'll get 5 different stopwatches going. I'll click them all on when each player touches the puck. But like Miller's got the puck the longest on the power play.
Ottawa looks like they're going to want to make moves. See all this? Ottawa's got their GM, Pierre Dorian's following every team around. They're watching the Canucks heavily. Put 2 guys on waivers today.
You're saying Tyler Myers, aren't you?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I would never want to trade Tyler
All right,
Myers.
Spencer Martin season. We got the poll question. Alex, we'll get the poll question up here. I want to see what Alex says because Alex is, I think after last night's game, I already think I know where Alex is going to go with this vote here. But we got our poll question. We can bring it up. Brought to you by the great folks at Atlas Goods. We don't have the air fryer in here today, so no fresh pork rinds as we go. Here we go. Alex is on the website. He's already there. What's the promo code? Well, I don't know my promo code here. Convo. Nope. That's DoorDash. You know, I'm not the promo code guy. You're over here texting bag milk again.
Convo DD.
Convo DD. That's the.
Who are we doing?
Atlas.
Why can't I remember?
Who are you texting?
It's work. I can't figure.
Talking about work here.
Well, you want to read our poll question? You're the one that typed it out.
15, isn't it? 15% off.
Well, yeah, but don't you want to read the poll question?
Okay, yeah, I'll get to the poll question. Alex got me distracted here. 3 minutes on.
I was a little distracted there too. Today's poll question brought to you by the great folks at Atlas Goods. We've eaten the pork rinds on the show.
Live. No seasoning though. We gotta get the seasoning.
Yeah, promo code CC15.
You were like, oh, I like the bacon one better. Last time was the bacon one. Just so you know.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
But I didn't have any listen, the seasoning may even make some better. So I'm going with the seasoning next time. All right, let's see what Alex has to vote on the poll question here.
Well, you didn't let me finish the vote.
Go
ahead, Alex. But promo code CC15 gets you 15% off your first order of pop rinds, the best fresh pork rinds straight from your microwave or air fryer. Our poll question today.
How many starts? I'll do it. How many starts will Spencer Martin get this season? I like how Alex follows the mouse to help me read because he knows I struggle. How many starts will Spencer Martin get in this season? 20 or less, 20 to 30, or 30 plus? And this is going to be an interesting answer from Alex because Alex saw Spencer Martin steal a game last night. He might be thinking 30 plus, or is he just angry because the Senators, I mean, they dominated for 40 minutes, couldn't solve Spencer Martin. Where's Alex going to go on this one? He's going with, or could he say 20 or 20? That's the last one I expected. 20 to 30, Alex says, and he is with the people. 68.4% of people saying that is the realm that we see, which, if you think about it, that's about 52 to 62 games for Thatcher Demko. I don't know. I think he's going to be pushed with the answer here. I think a lot of people are thinking this, but we also see 20 or less is getting more votes than 30 or more. I would lean towards it being closer to 30 than 20 for Spencer Martin starts.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think it's 20 or less. I think that number's gone up because at the start of the season, we kept talking about it, how it wasn't that high, but I think it is now. Spencer Martin's play has warranted it.
All right.
You have to play him. Okay. Get to our Betway wrap
I'm
up.
surprised Alex he's not angry. Well, maybe he's just accepted that the Sens aren't going to be a great team.
Okay, get to our Betway wrap up. We got stuff going on.
No, I got prospects real quick.
I'm checking out
prospects. Pedersen and Lekaramaki, they both played at the Five Nations tournament. Both of them, I'll be 100% honest, both of them were bad. Lekaramaki had shot attempts and stuff, and that was cool, but they all came at on the power play. He didn't do much at 5-on-5, and it was oh man, I sat there and it wasn't a game where I just watched shift by shift. I sat and watched the whole game, and Pedersen was not really noticeable aside from the times he was skating to the penalty box as he took 2 minor penalties in the game. And Lekkerimäki at 5-on-5, I couldn't even know. I didn't know whose line he was on, right? Like it was, he's there on the power play and he's taking a ton of shots, and that's great. But like these two players, they're playing against Czechia's U19 team. Like you got to come in there and show pretty well. And Sweden definitely did in the second and third periods, like the team did. But I was expecting more from these two players, and yeah, it was not a good opening game for them at the Five Nations tournament. They're calling it now. It was called the Four Nations tournament. Then in my mind, it was the Three Nations tournament, but they're calling it the Five Nations tournament. They're calling Czechia's U19 team its own nation, and Finland's U19 team its own. It's a mess at this, but that's all I got for the prospects report. Quickly want to say, I think bring it up just because Canucks Canadiens tonight, 4:30 is the puck drop. 4:30, that is a little bit of a different one. The Canadiens are 6-6-1 on the season, but they've lost 3 of their last 4. And Sam Montembeault is going to be the goaltender for the Canadiens tonight, we expect, because he didn't play last night in Detroit, so he's going to play tonight. Jake Allen got the start last night in Montreal, in Detroit, sorry. And I'm excited to see this Wi-Fi guy, this Arbor Zcash. That's how you say it.
Yes,
he had a ridiculous dog rating this season when I looked up the dog rating real quick on the year. So excited to see him. I might track his dog at the end of the game. We'll see what happens with him. He's fun too. He's a fun.
He is fun.
Okay, Betway. Let's do it. Let's get out of here. We got a game. I got to go to the gym. I got the energy now from the coffee. Gonna have another. I got my boost drink in me like the old people do. Betway. What do I got for the bets today? I got, let's see. I put it out on Twitter. Alex, you can pull it up if you got it. I put it in the work thing there. November 9th. It's going to be Andrei Kuzmenko or Nick Suzuki to score a goal in this game. I'll tell you what, I'll be 100% honest. Now that we're at the end of the show, little off today, both of us. You're not even paying attention.
No.
Okay. Well, look, not our best show. I'm going to come out and say it.
Well,
Nick Suzuki or Andrei Kuzmenko. The game yesterday threw me through a loop. It was like a roller coaster of emotions, and I don't know. The roller coaster took it on me, so I apologize to listeners. This is a bad show.
We haven't had the quad sleeper cam in a while. But,
no, I feel like we could have the double sleeper cam on for both of us. It's not a good show today.
Yeah, we're
not a great show. Here we go. Nick Suzuki or Andrei Kuzmenko to score in this game. You get either or at minus 125. So, and I changed the bets here. I'm like thinking if you ride with me. And you do, I'm just thinking, if I'm going to do this, $20 a day, $100 a week, and I'll see how I do. I'm going to start like tracking. Maybe starting next week, I'll start tracking. I'll do this. Every bet that we put on here, I'll do 2 bets a day, $10 on each, and we'll see at the end of the season if I can retire or not. Probably not. But so Suzuki or Kuzmenko to score at least 1 goal in this game. You put 10 down, you're getting 18 back on that. And then the other one we got here, a little bit more. I'm thinking both teams are going to score a power play on this one, and I think Pettersson's going to be in on that goal. Caulfield's going to be in on his goal.
Wow.
At plus 550 for both of those players to just get a power play point. So they don't need a goal, just a power play point. And at plus 550, like I kind of like those odds. Like the Canucks power play is really good. Their penalty kill is also really bad. So I think you're going to have a couple power play goals in this game.
We're tired today.
Oh, yeah, we are.
People in the chat, Commander Vander jumped in and said, love the honesty from quads. Podcast listeners, I'm leaning back in my chair right now. I'm slouched down. It's just, you know what? It's cold, but it's a nice day outside.
No, we'll be back tomorrow with a better show.
Yeah,
Today's
we'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow, it's hard. The Canucks are going to play in 2 hours.
Yeah, we're going into the weekend tomorrow.
Yeah.
Which is exciting.
Where you poppy?
Yeah, we're not coming here on Friday. We need it. I'd tell you, the show's gone downhill.
It hasn't gone downhill.
Oh, okay. Well, it feels like it has.
Today, maybe a little bit. But we'll bring it back.
We'll bring it back tomorrow.
Yeah. I also blame you.
Yeah, I'm off today. Normally,
both of us. It's rare that both of us are off on the same day.
Here's the other thing. I also blame you because when you're bad, I carry you. But I've been bad today. Have you been carrying me?
I told you I'm not feeling great. I told you it was going to be a tough one.
Okay.
Cody Severson jumped to the chat and said, come back tomorrow with a worse show.
And then go into a long weekend with no show on Friday.
Yeah, no, we're gonna be on tomorrow. Yeah. People saw I got my coffee. I'm just
look at that mug, eh?
Haven't even got
two-tone mug. You got the yellow and the white. Ian McIntyre is going to join us tomorrow to wrap up the 2 games.
We'll have to be on.
Oh yeah, because Ian's going to be on.
Ian doesn't deal with you sleeping at the wheel.
No, I don't know, but I tell you,
gonna whip us into shape.
I think we're going to get Ian going a little bit.
I think we should.
We get like the easiest guest, and this is when I was producing at 650. Easiest guest to get off the rails, Ian McIntyre. You could throw him off with anything. Remember when we had him on the show and I called him Big Mac and he caught on to that pretty quick?
I love Ian McIntyre.
Yeah, I like Ian too. He'll be on the show tomorrow. We'll be having a better show tomorrow. But yeah. Oh yeah, Knucklehead sad. They missed a week show. This is a good one.
You're
okay.
okay.
Podcast.
Yeah, you're okay. Okay.
Oh, geez.
Let's wrap there. For my co-host,
We should have
Chris,
wrapped 10 minutes into this thing right after we finished with Will.
For my co-host Chris Faber, our technical producer Alex Allard, our thanks to Will Lockwood for joining the show today. My name is David Quadrelli. Thank you so much for listening to another episode of the Canucks Conversation.
Goldobin rookie card. Save the show. Save the show. Is that for Epic?
Thanks for listening to Canucks Conversation, delivered by DoorDash. Hit the subscribe button to never miss an episode.
How about keep it to a thank you, Jim?